I think that's it.
Awesome. All right. This is going to be a party. This is going to be great.
Hey, we do have crew.
Yes.
Would crew, the audience may be empty if crew joins us.
All right, guys, be thinking of questions because we're going to turn they don't pay me enough to actually do the whole Q&A, so you're going to be doing part of the Q&A. So be thinking of stuff that you'd like to ask these guys. This is a rare opportunity and pretty cool to have them all in the same room at the same time. I'm excited. So let's start with you, Brandon.
Okay,
sure. This movie, it's the tone that you struck took me immediately back to the 80s. It took me back to all first it was sci-fi, but also all the action comedy stuff that you know, kind of made me who I am today. I love what you did with it. What inspired that? Because I felt like there was like a little bit of Alien in there. There was a little bit of what, Predator?
A lot of that.
Yeah, okay, so where did this all start?
All right, so story time now. Who here remembers Canon Films? Yeah, Canon Films like Missing in Action, like the ninja movies, Ninja 3 to Domination. Who could forget the dancer/possessed ninja? Right. You know, which is essential for all films. So this was really a throwback or a love letter to that era of films from the mid 80s to like the mid 90s. And also like early Tony Scott, like The Hunger and stuff. That's why we have all the atmosphere in the air and stuff like that. So it was a way to pay homage to the things that have inspired me to do what I am somehow lucky enough to actually do for a living, which is weird. And I've come to know and work with a lot of people who came from Canon Films. So as I was getting to know them and hearing all their stories, that's kind of how this all came to fruition.
Nice. Now, you wrote this with Robert Thompson. Is Robert here?
Robert is not here. He's in the Midwest.
Ah.
He's where all the good people are.
Yes, exactly. Okay, cool. The locations set such a tone for this, and I thought they were really creative. Like, for instance, the ship, I felt sort of claustrophobic and it sort of felt like we were in some kind of military vehicle, but you had it lit in such a way where it still felt like it was in the future. Tell me a little bit about that, about finding the locations that spelled out our world.
So, I mean, once we got the money for the actual movie, the second most important thing was actually figuring out a place to shoot it. Because, you know, you have, like these days, you have gigantic movies that are $200 million, and then you have a gigantic gap of budget levels. Whereas in the past, you would have movies that are 100 million, 50, 10, 5, and so on. Now, because of streaming, like Netflix, Hulu, and everything, God bless them, low-budget movies, direct-to-budget movies, are even more low-budget. So we had to find a location. And Devanny and Brandon Williams were in a film together called Dwelling that was shot in Buffalo.
Ah, okay.
And Brandon was nice enough to go to a shipyard near downtown Buffalo, if any of you are familiar with it, outside of people here from Buffalo. It's a naval park of two World War II ships and a submarine. And Brandon did a tour, a walkthrough with it. Okay. And we went and matched locations just to make sure we could shoot it there. Originally we were going to shoot New York City, but that's a 1990s direct-to-video movie budget. Not a current, streaming piracy era budget. Fuck you, piracy. Seriously. If I could have a soapbox for a second. You're not sticking it to the man. You're sticking it to the grips, the PAs, the extras, everybody. So fuck off. Anyway, back to your regularly scheduled program. Yeah.
How long did you have to shoot this? How much time?
God, 12 days.
12 days? Let's hear it for 12 days. That's amazing.
Sorry. I mean, we had 6 months. Yeah, we shot in 6 months.
Cost us millions of dollars.
And millions of dollars.
God, the budget was huge.
12 days. Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna bounce around a little bit. Vivica, I want to go to you first, if I can. How exciting you started out. Everybody went, oh, a beautiful woman, and you've become a celebrity because you're gorgeous and striking. But you've actually based your whole career on portraying women and people in general with dignity and power And this was an incredible opportunity to, as I understand, portray the first female African-American president. Can you tell me a little bit about
On film, yeah. I was honored when my agent hit me and said that Brandon had selected me to play POTUS. I was so honored, and it got a huge amount of press, which was really great. But you're right, in my career I've definitely played a lot of strong characters, so I was honored and thrilled to get this, and more importantly, you know, really funny to have, really blessed to have this guy here. How many scenes was he still in with just little money? So,
Brandon said they don't have the normal fee that they're going to pay you, but you get to sleep with a Vivica Fox on film.
until the end, no, but you know.
Sequel!
But I think that everyone did a great job. It was very cold there. I remember that. It was literally snowing sideways when we were filming. It was very cold, but we knocked it out.
Probably get the lake effect up there in Baldwin.
I mean, it was really cold, but we had an excellent staff and crew, and everyone was just wonderful. And like I said, I've known Daniel and his family for a very long time, so for me to be able to share this screen with him was a pleasure.
Was this the first time that you guys have actually worked together?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I worked with your brother.
Cell phone, yes.
Yeah, I've worked with this brother before, and yeah, but we've known each other like forever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Sports fans. I usually always see them like Super Bowl or somewhere like that.
What a riot! It looked like you had so much fun together too. I got the sense that there was a great camaraderie, or at least a good rapport on set.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I thank Brandon for doing that too, because we all went out and had dinner together and fellowshiped with one another, and and then we just got in there and did the work.
Right.
More than anything else. I mean, you want to get in there and you want to do the work. But it looked beautiful. So, Brandon, congratulations. I'm so very proud of you. And everyone else that's standing here. I mean, really, it was completely entertaining, and I'm very proud to be a part of this.
Just heard a tidbit that if you would share with us, there's something special about your presidential desk at the end.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Did you tell us?
Daniel, you're into history, I seem to remember. That was Teddy Roosevelt's desk in his office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way I heard it too. I just want to know why fuck showed up and not you. Where is he? Is he in Toronto?
But they were fucking off. So.
Oh, he's got no hair now. All right.
Tell me more about the desk, though. There was a story to you, right?
The story behind the desk?
Yeah.
I don't remember the
Story behind the desk, Robin.
Well, I mean, Noob had to earn his name and not be Francis.
The building that we were filming in, I remember there was something special that the building that
It was his house, wasn't it?
You see how Hollywood works? It started as a desk, now it's a house. It's the whole fucking city.
So yes, Buffalo was absolutely awesome to us. They opened up several different historical sites. They were very adamant on letting us have access to everything they wanted and needed. And so when you have a select budget, and I'm a select budget. Yes, we needed to establish futuristic worlds, space worlds, and then different planets, and inside, of course, spaceships. And so we were fortunate enough to bring the old and the history, which we thought was really important if we were filming in some place as awesome as Buffalo, to bring that into a futuristic and just to kind of embellish and thank you. Shout out to my my production team for designing and bringing history into the future. So one of the opportunities to do that, when we were fortunate enough and did get the confirmation that Ms. Fox was willing to join us, obviously the people in Buffalo were excited as we were, so they did open up some special things, including the Teddy Roosevelt home where he was inaugurated into it, and also did all of his home work in that time period that he was in power. And so It's normally a museum, and during the day it actually was. They opened it up to us at night, so we could indeed film historic cinematic events like having her in this role in an actual historic American site.
Didn't we film at, was it the city building? I remember, like, we had to go through like all of these clearances, like going in there, we had to go through a whole lot of detectors and stuff like that. The one scene, like at the end, where you saw me in front of the thing, and I was looking real presidential. Like, yeah, yes, bitch. Okay, yes, bitch. You better look like a leader. Okay. So I love that, but that was actually the city.
That was Buffalo City Hall.
Yes, there we go.
And
So thank you, Buffalo, again. You rock.
And Daniel, seeing as how you're so close to the microphone, I saw at one point in your life you described yourself among your family as the troublemaker of the family. I see that hasn't changed at all.
There's a fucking stretch.
But also looking at what's coming up for you, at least according to IMDb, you have a list of things a mile long. What's next for you? What are you doing? What's
Well,
going on next?
I'm
Other
very
than the
busy. I
sequel to
have this film and 7 other films coming out in the next 15 months. So I've been busy. I have my own show for ESPN that I do every day.
What's that? What show is
It's called The Daniel Baldwin Show.
Nice. I wonder where they got the name.
But I do want to say something, you know, when we got there, and you know, we've done, lots of people up here have done a lot of movies, but this really was, the thing that I was most taken aback by was it really was a family. I mean, we really had a lot of fun riffing back and forth with Stink and the boys, and then I'd have my scenes, you know, with Viv, and but it got right down to, I'll never forget, there was a moment I was sitting there and I was thinking about a scene, and there's Brandon's mother coming in with the food. Now think about that for a minute. So the director's mom is actually making food for us to bring to us, and you know what, I thought, man, that's really so cool, you know, that she loves her son so much. And she came in, it really was. It was a real family atmosphere. It was beautiful.
Is this Mom here? Would you say,
Mom?
Devanny's mom? Is your mom here? Devanny? Oh, stand up, please.
She actually also did casting.
You can taste the love in that catering. That's awesome. Incredible. Thanks for bringing that up.
Quickly, they both were coming from New Jersey, and since we're East Coasters, you know, we got to take care of all of our people. So, thank you.
Nice. Go ahead and hand that to Stink, because I want to talk to Stink next. Actual NFL player, you're straight from the NFL into
Use that
like,
word actual loosely.
the New York Jets, right?
Yeah, back in the day,
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Howard? Yeah, I was with the Jets briefly in '94. I came out of Division III. I was at the University of Minnesota. I was in the Big Ten. I was a scholarship athlete, and I got in an argument with the defensive coordinator, spiraled down, wind up at Rowan University. It was the first day they were even called Rowan University. Before that were Glassboro State. I get picked up by the Jets as a free agent, and the whole thing with the rookies is we stand in the back of the room in one of the first weeks of practice, and you have to stand up and give your fight song.
Oh, nice.
I had no idea what the fight song was. Pete Carroll's our coach, and I stand up, and I go, my Stink is my SAG persona, and my nickname, Bill, is the name that I played under football, so I stand up, I go, Bill Fisher, defensive line, Rowan University. Every single head in the room goes like this. And I go, Coach, we have no fight song. And they just laughed their asses off, and I sat back down, and then I think they cut me like the next day, or something like that. It wasn't the next day, no, it wasn't the next day, but it was a very fun time in my life, and I'm very fortunate.
So you escaped a lot of the cranial damage that if you'd had a long career in the NFL. So you're built to be the heavy. Have you ever played any like a meek, small, mild mannered, or are you always this?
Do I look fucking meek to you? I mean, no.
I just want to know how good of an actor you are.
That is out for discussion. No, Lovely Bones, I had mental issues.
Okay. Yeah.
It's funny you say that. My father, Herb Fisher, may he rest in peace. He was a playwright and author. He had books that are out, and I had some scripts that were optioned back in the day. He passed away in 2001. But up until that point, when I was playing football and I was making the transition into acting, my dad would always say to me, "Hey, you'll make a good heavy." And I would get so pissed off.
Of course.
I'm like, I'm more than that, man.
That's
I'm
right,
more than that.
that's right.
But, and Dan, you know what I'm talking about because you come from the same background with the pop. But just amazing that I get these opportunities. And there is more to me. And I actually have a film coming out, Just One More Kiss, that is literally just wrapping up post right now where I'm actually the love interest. And I actually have a much softer and sweeter side. And then I beat the shit out of people. I do it in such a sweet and caring way. You know? And it just comes down to love.
You are multifaceted. You're an author as well.
Well, I'm a screenwriter.
A screenwriter.
Yeah, I have a
Okay.
script that's optioned right now and it's being worked through and we're moving it to the next
Is this
level.
Bro Mitzvah?
That is, you know, Bar Mitzvah.
It's the best title of a movie ever, I think.
Folks, it's going to take the world by storm, so just stay tuned for Bar Mitzvah.
Bro Mitzvah, stay tuned.
And can I just say one thing? Vivica, first of all, to Brendan and Devanny for breaking through membranes. I mean, this business is so difficult, and I think everybody in this audience and everyone else standing up here can attest to that. This is such a difficult industry to break through barriers. They're put up for us all the time in various ways, to our laterals, to our fronts, to our backs, above us and below us. It's so hard to break through, and to put Vivica in a spot to break through yet another ceiling and push it through. Just amazing. And it goes to show you, budgets mean shit. They really do, because at the end of the day, it's what's behind it that counts.
Sure.
And can you please make your way to Washington, D.C. like right now?
We need you. We need you.
Thank you all very much for coming out and supporting us tonight. We really appreciate it.
And Brian, I want to talk to you too, because you come from, I was reading, you come from a improv background, or you have improv in your background.
Yes.
Anyway. And there was so much chemistry and so much goofing off among, jocular, locker room friendship that you would have between you guys, you soldiers. How much of that was improv on set? How much did you actually come up with, and how much was actually written?
You know what? First of all, I'm going to say a good portion of it was improv. But, before I went into acting, I was in law enforcement. Being in law enforcement for over 27 years.
Wow. All right, first responder.
Improv and say things on a daily basis, and you have to have a certain camaraderie when you work with your fellow officers out in the street,
Right.
and people that you endure. So it helped me out in that aspect also.
Wow.
Yes.
So what was it that took you, so you were a police officer?
Yes.
What was it that made you go, you know what, I'm tired of making a lot of money, let's be an actor? What did that?
Well, you know what? Basically, I have a son, and my son had expressed interest in acting, and so he was interested in taking classes, and so I would always take him to his classes and go and do things with him.
Yeah.
And he had an opportunity to work with some wonderful people like John Abrams and a few other people like Annie Potts and stuff. And I was always on set. We would always rehearse, and it was something I had a passion for, but my son pushed that in me, and he inspired it, so that's what helped me to go in that direction.
Beautiful. Wow, what a great answer. Mu-Shaka, I know that he was talking about his experiences as a police officer. Now, I know you have combat experience with the U.S. Army, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for your service. So I would assume that because you're in so many combat situations in this movie, how much did you ever go, guys, this wouldn't actually happen. I wouldn't actually do this. Or how much of your real life how much of your real life experience were you able to bring to this?
Oh, well, I was a team leader when I was deployed overseas.
Mm-hmm. Keep this close.
Sorry.
There you go.
Okay. I had experience in leadership in a combat situation. And for me, it was a pretty easy transition and bringing that into my performance.
Right.
And as I said in another interview, I also sort of imitated one of my drill sergeants when I went through basic training.
Oh, really?
Yes. He was a very scary dude. And I just tried to bring that into the role as much as I could. I don't know. I looked at when I read Miller on the page. He sort of seemed kind of cool to me.
Yeah.
You know. Did you just laugh, Steve? I thought he just laughed.
I'm sorry, you can't upset on the set because someone rips your button off in the middle of the scene.
We'll talk about that.
That's pretty cool. Talk about cool.
Yeah, well, we had some cosmetic issues on set. But yeah, so yeah, I imitated my drill sergeant. I mean, I was pretty much behaving like him the whole time, and that was what I tapped into.
Nice. Nice. Awesome. That was cool. And we've got Noob right next to you. Brandon? You got to follow that. Exactly. Now, first off, I noticed everybody keeps teasing you even after the script is over. How much of that did of the character's sort of status on the team bleed over into the set?
We'll just start with that. Brandon and Devanny have been messing with me for, I don't know, 3 years now.
So you've known them before
I
this
think they had
movie,
me in
right?
mind for this,
Okay.
just so they could, do it on set for once. But, what's your question again?
Well, I was talking about the dynamics between the guys, but actually let's go in your direction where you were going with it, because you've known these guys, well, especially Devanny, before, and so you were kind of instrumental in getting this movie off the ground, right? Are you a native of Buffalo?
I am, yeah.
Okay. So what was it that made you think, or did you convince Devanny, or did the two of you come up with the idea, or did she, that it's better to like bring everybody up here? Was there any kind of kickbacks? Were there any kind of tax incentives?
That wasn't my idea. But
Okay. Well, you seem to be part of it.
yeah, let me answer your first question.
Sure, go for
it. The challenge of that was playing this character. He's, socially awkward, new guy, recruit, to a team of badasses who've been doing this for years.
Right.
So the challenge to that was I'm still kind of an amateur actor, so I'm very method, and what I did was I stepped away from everybody during takes.
Oh,
And that was tough because I heard them talking from a distance all the time. Like, I want to talk too. And I'm like, no, just stay focused, I just act terrified all the time. Yeah, tough. Yeah, true. So it worked. We knew each other anyway, so it kind of brought our real life personalities to characters.
I love that. I love finding out about people's processes, and especially that. That's kind of a painful one. When everybody's having a good time, you're like, well, I guess I'll go stand in the corner.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's tough. Well, bravo. It came through. It came through great. And it was nice to see that you become a badass too, and everybody starts, no, you do. You become a badass, and everybody respects you and then trusts their lives with you after you prove yourself. So, well done. Well played. Now, Degenerate. Now, hello. Not only were you super fun to watch because you were totally unpredictable and your hair was everywhere, but I understand too that you were the stunt coordinator as well as doing the role. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and you did Vernon's double.
And
oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Well, let's go to the stunts part of it first. I was going to ask you if you did your own stunts, but tell me about some of the stunts that you had to organize for this that we might not have even known were stunts.
I was going to say, ask me anything, I'll tell you anything. First of all, everybody's been sitting for a while. Do y'all want to stand up and stretch for 2 seconds?
Like a seventh
Come
inning
on, give me a
stretch.
7th inning stretch.
There you
Everybody
go.
stand up.
Okay.
That is the worst wave I've ever seen. Okay, sit down. Now stand up again. Sit down. Okay, anyway. All right. That's good stunt coordinator. You see that blood moving? Oh my God. All right, first of all, she's leaving. Cindy, I'm going to say something nice about you.
Stand up.
She did my hair. Anyway.
Well done.
Well
okay.
done. And I have to say, I am amazed. I don't know how like guys in rock bands and punk kids and stuff do that at home. It took 2 professional makeup and hairstylists an hour every day to do that hair.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know how kids do it at home. I guess with Elmer's glue or some such shit like that. But anyway, okay, about the stunts. What was really interesting about this crew, when we were talking about casting, Brandon and I talked a lot about Predator and Commando. Really? Yes, a whole lot about Predator and Commando. For this movie, yeah. But the idea being, if you think back to those casts, you had, Arnold Schwarzenegger, you had Jesse the Body Ventura, you had Apollo Creed, what's his name, I'm blanking. Carl Weathers, thank you. Weathers, yeah, okay. Yeah, so the idea was we go in and we find guys that are not just good actors, but they're real physical guys, and you buy them doing the stuff. So Brandon, bless his heart, he went through it, he just hours and hours and hours of casting, and he comes away with Noob, has a martial arts background. Stink, was a professional football player, and I'm not gonna run through everybody, hell with the rest of y'all. But yeah, everybody had some real skills. So what we did was we would just take that and build on it. And it was such a joy because when I got there, I only knew half of the guys. And I walked in not knowing, so we managed to have one dojo day and I'm like, okay, let's see what everybody can do. Okay, thank God, there's no idiots in the group. All right, and we just built from there.
Believe it or not, okay, the original title was Breed. And it was a smaller movie. And
it was rated X.
Yes.
That's what they told me I was going to be
But yes, it was a tribute to friends. So thank you very much, James Reitz from Crossbreed.
Yeah, man. All right. Like musicians.
One final question.
She's had her hand up for a while.
This young lady here.
It's kind of towards like you and Sting. I'm just wondering, the line, it was just a question. Was that improv or was it like from Monty Python or something?
I'm a huge Monty Python fan, but I don't know if it was in the script or not. To be honest with you, I don't remember that far back. But we were throwing stuff out there left and right. So the Flesh Wound, I'm Not Dead, and we had a lot of space jokes. There were tons of space. Everything was in space.
Yeah, we had the Moon Juice for a while, which I had to take out because it turns out there's a beer called Moon Juice.
Yeah, so we had tons of fun with improv. And I'm telling you, on the back of the DVD, right, there's tons of outtakes. There's one thing real quick. John T. Woods is not here tonight. He played Four Eyes. There's one scene where we were working and we're in the scene and the camera's still going and we're all in the moment and everything's going on. And he thinks the scene's on. We turn around and he pulls a sandwich out of his chest plate and he's eating a sandwich and he looks at the camera and he says, well, I thought we were done. The way it played out was just hilarious.
That was in the movie until like the first to last cut. But at that point, that's when the guys go to the med lab and they start getting killed, so it didn't feel good to break the tension. But that is on the outtakes. There's like, 15 minutes of deleted scenes and 10 minutes of outtakes on the DVD and Blu-ray that comes out a month from today.
So if you were wondering, you definitely need to buy this movie on DVD or Blu-ray, as well as stream it.
It's streaming everywhere. Every premium service, all of that, it's everywhere. Oh my God.
So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for spending this evening with us. Please.